Imagine this for a moment. A united Africa. No borders, no visa restrictions, one passport, one army, one currency, and one government representing over 1 billion people. An Africa so strong and self-reliant that no foreign power could exploit it again. That was the dream of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president. He called it the United States of Africa. But before him, others had already dreamed of the same thing. People like Marcus Garvey, who believed that black people everywhere were one people with one destiny. Nkrumah picked up that torch and carried it further than anyone before him. But in the end, his dream was crushed by his own African brothers and by powerful Western interests who feared what a united Africa would mean. So today, we will talk about why Nkrumah wanted a United States of Africa, why he was stopped, and what might have happened if Africa had listened. Let's go back to the 1900s. Africa was still chained under colonial rule. During that time, a Jamaican man named Marcus Garvey rose to prominence with one powerful message: Africa for Africans, at home and abroad. Garvey founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, preaching that all black people in Africa, America, and the Caribbean were one family and should unite politically and economically. He wanted a strong, independent African nation that could stand tall on the world stage and protect black people everywhere. Even though Garvey never set foot in Africa, his pan-African ideas inspired countless young Africans studying abroad. One of them was Kwame Nkrumah. When Nkrumah studied in the United States and the United Kingdom, he read Garvey's speeches and writings. He began to see Africa not as 50 separate colonies, but as one great continent waiting to rise. When Ghana gained independence in 1957, Nkrumah saw it as more than Ghana's victory. It was the first spark of continental freedom.
At long last, the battle has ended. And thus, Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Now I want you all, those who have hats on, to take off your hats and let the band play our national anthem. And from now on, that national anthem is the national anthem of the Gogo to be played on all occasions.
He believed that political independence meant nothing without economic and then military unity. According to historians, including an analysis from History Today, Nkrumah understood that African nations, divided by colonial borders, were too small and weak to resist foreign control. He saw how the West still controlled trade, currency, and technology. So he argued that Africa needed one strong economic system, one army, and one foreign policy. He said, the forces that unite us are intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. He believed unity would make Africa powerful, turning its natural resources like gold, oil, diamond, and cocoa into tools of prosperity for Africans, not the rest. But Nkrumah's ideas split African leaders into two sides. On one side was the Casablanca group, leaders who supported Nkrumah's vision of immediate African unity. They included Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt, a key pan-African and pan-Arab voice who shared Nkrumah's socialist ideals. Modibo Keita of Mali, who worked closely with Nkrumah on plans for economic integration. Ahmed Sékou Touré of Guinea, who stood by Nkrumah even after his overthrow, naming him Honorable Co-President. Ahmed Ben Bella of Algeria, who believed Africa needed to speak with one voice after Algeria's independence. These men saw that Africa's survival depended on unity. But on the other side was the Monrovia group, leaders who thought Nkrumah was moving too fast. They included Abubakar Tafawa Balewa of Nigeria, William Tubman of Liberia, Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, Leopard Sedar Senghor of Senegal, and Julius Nyerere of Tanzania. They wanted slower cooperation, regional unions first, political unity later. Haile Selassie helped broker a compromise in 1963, forming the Organization of African Unity, not a true union, but a loose alliance of states. For Nkrumah, this was a disappointment. He warned that if Africa did not unite quickly, it would remain divided and vulnerable. While African leaders debated, the West quietly interfered. The US and European powers feared that a united Africa, controlling its own oil, gold, and markets would become a new superpower and reject Western influence. They began painting Nkrumah as a dictator, using media and secret operations to turn his allies against him. There were assassination attempts like the 1964 Kolungugu bomb attack that nearly killed him. And in 1966, while he was on a peace mission to Vietnam, the Ghanaian military, backed by the CIA, overthrew him. The classified documents later confirmed that Western agencies had helped plan and fund the coup. Why? Because Nkrumah wanted Africa to be economically independent, and that threatened global interests. Even after independence, Nkrumah didn't focus only on Ghana. He sent financial and technical support to liberation movements in Angola, Congo, Mozambique, and South Africa. He helped train young African leaders and built Ghana into a symbol of pan-Africanism, home to thinkers, revolutionaries, and freedom fighters. He also supported major development projects in other African countries, offering scholarships, teachers, and engineers to help new nations grow. To him, Ghana was just the beginning, the spark that could ignite Africa's total freedom. Decades later, another leader tried to revive the same dream, Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. Gaddafi believed that Africa could only be respected globally if it stood as one. He proposed the United States of Africa with one defense system and one currency, the gold dinar, backed by Africans' own gold reserves. This currency would have replaced the US dollar and euro in African trade, giving the continent total economic independence. He worked through the African Union, pushing for a single government, passports, and army, echoing Nkrumah's words decades earlier. But the West saw danger again. If African nations started selling oil and resources in gold instead of dollars, Western economies would lose control. So once again, the dream became the target. In 2011, under the US President Barack Obama and then the Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, NATO backed the rebels that toppled and killed Gaddafi. After his death, Clinton famously laughed, saying, "We came, we saw, he died."
We came, we saw, he died. Did it have anything to do with your visit? I'm sure.
Behind the scenes, many believe this was not just about Libya. It was about preventing Gaddafi's plan to unite Africa under one currency and one voice. Just like Nkrumah, Gaddafi was silenced for trying to make Africa powerful. Now imagine if Africans had listened to Nkrumah and Garvey. A single African passport, allowing us to move freely from Ghana to Nigeria, from Gambia to Kenya, and then in any other part of Africa. One military force, strong enough to defend the continent from foreign interference. One economy, turning Africa's resources into African wealth. There would be no need to beg for loans or aid. No endless wars over borders drawn by colonizers. We would have one voice at the United Nations, one seat at the global table, as equals, no dependence. Now Nkrumah once said, "The independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the total liberation of the African continent." He paid the price for that belief: exile, betrayal, and endless Western interference. But his dream didn't die. It lives in every African who believes in unity, self-reliance, and freedom from foreign control. And so, the question remains, if Marcus Garvey, Kwame Nkrumah, and Muammar Gaddafi could see Africa today, would they believe the dream of a United States of Africa still stands a chance?
Our enemies are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. They prey upon our vanities and flatter us in every kind of way. They tell us that this particular person or that particular country has greater or more favorable potentialities than the other. they do not tell us that we should unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free.